and welcome to the Disgruntled Traveler Podcast. Now that I got your attention, today's story centers around a place called Sarajevo, Bosnia. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, where? Where the heck is Sarajevo, Bosnia? I'll tell you where it is. It's in the heart of Eastern Europe, baby. Okay? And believe me, there are no wars going on over there now. So if you ever want to visit Sarajevo, Bosnia, I highly recommend it. Shameless plug. I booked a 30-day Airbnb in Sarajevo. First time here, beautiful location, beautiful place to be. Lots of lush green mountains, beautiful village-like homes that are just nestled in the mountains and in the valleys, and they grow corn and they grow wheat, and it's just such a simple way of living. And then you get out away from the actual city. And yes, the city, they have a city. It's not a big city, okay? It's Sarajevo. It's sort of like a mini city, okay? And it gives you everything you need. I mean, if you want a restaurant, a cafe, if you want a coffee shop, if you want a place to go clubbing, they have some of that too. Not to mention just beautiful, little river coming through the city and bridges that go over, and they light it all up at night. And they've got ancient architecture from the Roman days and the Ottoman days. And then they also have other onion layers of history. And a lot of their buildings are actually made in the Austrian-Hungarian era. So when you look at some of these old buildings, you'll see angels, faces of angels sitting in the architecture. And in the name of, I can't remember the singer. If you guys are as old as me, you remember angels in the architecture. But remember, you can call me Al. Call me Al. Doo-doo, 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 doo-doo. Anyway, let's get back to the story. I sometimes get sidetracked, all right? I decided to take a tour in Bosnia. I wanted to see more of it. The city in itself is quite spectacular, but, people were telling me, hey, you got to get out in the rugged countryside. Like, there's so much more to Bosnia than Sarajevo. So I was like, okay, I'll book a tour. So I book a tour with, no, I better not. I'm not going to say, because like I said, this story is about a man from Bosnia, the tour driver, and I'm going to name this man the Mario Andretti of Bosnia. And you're going to understand why once I tell you this story. All right, so book this tour. About $65, but it's a 12-hour day. I think it's well worth the money. 12 hours, they drive you in 5 different locations in Bosnia. So, not only did I go to see Mostar, and if you ever heard of Mostar, it's the famous arch bridge that was built like back in the Ottoman Empire, somewhere around 1100, 1200 AD. It's a big arch stone bridge that you can walk across, but it's really high and it sits over the coldest river in Europe, okay? Like they say it's the coldest river. I mean, that's what they tell me. But what they do, they have people that actually will jump from the bridge for money. And tourists can do it too. But what's so funny is the professionals, the ones that live in Mostar, they will, sort of like church, how they pass the tray to collect money, right? Well, they do the same thing in Mostar. They send a guy down on the ground to collect money from people. And when they get up to 60 euros, which I think is about $65 US. Forgive me on the exchange, give and take. They collect that much money, then they jump from the bridge, and then everybody gets to do their little selfie. Yay! So yeah, so you go there and you go to Kravica Waterfalls, which is just gorgeous. It's just like a wall of waterfalls. It could rival some of the best waterfalls in the world. I wouldn't say necessarily Niagara. It's not that forceful, but it's just as serene and beautiful and out in the middle of nowhere. And it's got these crystal blue pools that you can swim in underneath the waterfalls. Are really cool. And of course, cafes and all that good stuff. And then he took us to a few other places. Like this one place was this big castle. This was like a 14th century castle / fortress and village that was built on a mountaintop, okay? It's still practically in one piece. Half of it is sort of slid off the mountain over the years, but it's so beautiful. You walk up to the lookout point and you can see the half of the castle just sitting on the mountain right in front of you. And then when you look off in the distance, you can see the river just snaking down through the valley. Oh my God, girl, you haven't lived till you've seen that, and I'm losing my shit. Of course, I'm losing my shit. Here we go. Sorry, pardon my French. Gotta look pretty for YouTube. I know y'all on the podcast being like, what the heck is going on? I lost my hairband. We're back in business. Let's go. So we did all this touring, and now mind you, it is hot that day. Like, I'm from Florida. I'm used to hot weather, but I was like, I went to Europe to get away from the hot weather, right? No, it ended up having a heat wave on the day we went, and it was up to 95 degrees Fahrenheit, which is what, 35 Celsius for you Europeans out there. It was hot, brother. And then on top of that, we're in a van. So, okay, let me tell you, there was me and 5 other women that were in this van, okay? So it was all women, and it was just the male driver, the guy from Bosnia, who was our driver / tour guide, okay? So, you know, it's like 3-row seats in the van. There's 3 of them in the back. We're all from different parts of the world. 3 ladies in the back. There's me and this other girl in the middle seat. There's another chick sitting up front next to him, the driver. Now, here's what's weird about this van. This van's air conditioner half-ass worked. Pardon my French, but there's no other way to put it. He had all the vents open, and it's like, when we're driving, half the time the AC was nice and cold and it felt really good. And then the other half of the time, it's like it was just blowing hot air. So it's like you go from cold to stuffy and hot, cold to hot. And like I said, it's 95 degrees outside, right? So that was the first complaint. But everybody's like, and you couldn't open the windows. Like, you're on the sides, you can't open the windows. And the guy was like, you know, pretty much you're just gonna have to deal with it kind of shit. And I was like, okay. So that's fine. You know, I can deal with that. I had a lovely time. No problem. I got along with all the women. We were chit-chatting. They're all from, like, there's 2 women from Spain. There was one from Northern England. There was another lady from Norway. I never met anybody from Norway, so that was cool. And then there's me from the US. And then there was one girl who was sitting next to me. I don't know where she was from, but she had a thick accent. She didn't tell me where she was from, so I don't know where she was from. But anyway, so it's going on. We've toured all day. We've seen 4 places. We get to our last spot, which was a really beautiful, another beautiful, like, emerald green, like, kind of creek, river, spring that was coming out of a huge cave on the side of a mountain. And what was built next to it was an ancient monastery, what do you call, a Muslim monastery that was built on the riverbanks there that you were allowed to go inside and tour. And I mean, it just had beautiful architecture and beautiful views. And of course, they touristed it up. They built cafes along the river and on the river, which was just, oh my God, I can't even. It was just so beautiful. So by that time, I'm getting hungry. Luckily, the driver, the tour included free sandwiches, which I didn't know. So thank God, he gave us all like a submarine sandwich, you know, with lunch meat, cheese, and some veggies on it. He gave that to us around noon. So we ate our sandwiches around noon. Mind you, we started the tour at 8 o'clock in the morning. So I had a good breakfast, but I was getting hungry. He gave us the sandwiches at noon. Fine, ate that in the van. Kept on going all afternoon. It's 6 o'clock. And I asked the guy, I says, are we going to stop for dinner? Because I know this tour isn't over till 8, but like I'm getting hungry again, right? So he's like, well, it's not on the itinerary, but you know, if all you women want to stop for dinner, I'd be more than happy to, you know, take you to a local restaurant that's like halfway back to the city, and we can have dinner for about an hour and we'll head back in. And I said, man, that sounds fantastic. Because on the way, evidently they're known for cooked lamb. If you guys are liking lambs, I'm sorry, but hey, lamb meat's actually really good. So if you're vegan or vegetarian, close your ears or turn off the video. I'm just saying, the meat is damn good, okay? And they barbecue it on a spit, an open spit. And when you drive through the valley between Sarajevo and the big canyon mountains along the river until you get to the other locations, there's nothing but restaurant after restaurant after restaurant, and all of them cook the open spit lamb. So when you're driving by, you see these open pit barbecues and smoke in the air, and they're just turning that meat, baby. And I was like drooling, you know, because that's what I was thinking about. And when he said that, I'll take you to one of those restaurants, my eyes got really big, and I was like, yeah, man. So I'm like, I'm going to try to talk these women into going, because, man, I want some lamb meat, okay? So anyway, out of the 5 other women, excuse me, out of the 5 other women, I got 3 of them to agree. They wanted to go. I had them hook, line, and sinker. I said, come on, let's go. Man, we can relax. It's been a long, hot day. Let's go chill, have some dinner, you know, relax, and we can chat a little bit more and get to know each other. And then we'll head back in, maybe about an hour, right? Bada boom, bada bang. So 3 of them agreed. But these 2 women ruined it for all of us. Like, they're the ones from Spain. Nothing against Spain, but they were 2 older women. I am so sorry, like my voice. Time out, drink of water. Yeah. So they're from Spain. We pitch it to them, right? Me and the driver pitches it to them. And the one woman, like one was being quiet, and the other, you know, just looked at the other one. And the other one's like, no, we don't want to go. How they speak in Spanish. And I was looking at her, I was like this? I says, you know, we haven't eaten since noon. She goes, no, we can't do it. We have to catch an early plane. We can't do it. We need to get back as soon as possible. We have to leave out early in the morning and catch a flight. So I'm like, really? I was thinking to myself, like, is 1 hour really going to make a damn difference? I mean, think about it, lady. By the time you get back into town at 8 p.m., unless you don't eat, I don't know, but you're still going to have to get something to eat when you get back into town, which is probably going to take you another freaking hour, right? So I'm thinking that, but I didn't say anything to her, all right? So I just agreed, and I was like, okay, fine. I guess we'll just head back into town and not get to eat this fabulous open spit lamb. You're really pissing me off because I'm never going to get back out here again. But if there's no consensus from the masses, then they win. So we all got back into the van, and we started heading back to Sarajevo. Now, mind you, it is 7 o'clock in the evening. I am exhausted. I'm hungry. I'm hot and sweaty from the day and gritty, just feeling sweaty in my clothes. I'm hot. I'm tired. The AC's going in and out in the van, and I know we got at least another hour's drive back into town. And this road that goes in the canyon between where we were to getting back into the city of Sarajevo is S-shaped. Okay? It goes like this, right? Through the canyon, along the river, over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go. Ah! So yeah, we had to do that for an hour. Now, like I said in the beginning, our Bosnian driver was driving pretty nice the whole day. But something got up his butt at the end of the day because this man wasn't driving slow, okay? So I got my eyes closed. I'm tired. I'm like, I don't want to watch the road go like this. Like, it's making me dizzy, right? So I just thought, okay, I can't actually sleep, and I'm going to close my eyes, lean back, and I'm just going to like chill until we get back into Sarajevo. I almost felt myself drifting off, right? You know, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling the rhythm of the road, and my head's just sort of going slowly back and forth, feeling the rhythm, right? Next thing I know, I'm like, my head is going like this. I woke up, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? Right? I'm looking around like, what's happening? So, to give you an image, not only is the road doing this, and there's a huge mountain on the left, but there's cliffs on the right. Looking out my window, we are hundreds of feet up in the air, and this guy decides to put his foot on the floor, like, I'm talking Mario Andretti, pedal to the metal, like, and it's a stick, and he's just, and he's just hitting it, man. He's hitting it. We're all just hanging on for dear life. I'm awake now, right? I got my seatbelt on like this. I'm like, oh my God. And luckily, you know, the vans, they have those little handles that you can hang on to on the roof. So I got my seatbelt on, and I'm hanging onto this handle, and I'm just like, and my ass is sliding back and forth off the seat, right? And I'm like hanging on for dear life, and I'm just thinking to myself, what is he doing, right? Like, did he get a text message from his girlfriend? Like, is he in a hurry to get back home all of a sudden? Oh, so I don't know how I survived the last hour, but we made it back. And finally, when I saw the city lights of Sarajevo, we started hitting the valley. We got out of the S's, right? And it starts going to a straight highway. He had to start slowing down as we got near the city. So I was finally, I could relax, right? I could breathe again. I'm letting go of the handle. And I'm just like, I'm looking at the girl next to me, like none of us were saying anything because we were just like tired, and then we're hanging on for dear life, and we're like, we're just happy to be back in town because I just wanted out of that damn van. I was like, okay, I'm done. It's been 12 hours. I'm hungry. I'm freaked out. I'm going to get the hell out of this van, right? So lo and behold, I am the last one to get dropped off at my place because that's part of the package deal. They pick you up and they drop you off. So he drops off all the other women first in town, and he says, and I'm just sitting there. He goes, are you getting out? And I said, no. I said, you still got to drive me home. I'm up on the mountain. You got to take me up, okay? And he goes, okay. And then he gets his buddy, because his buddy is the one who actually picked me up. So there's two of them in the van with me, and he knows the way. So they switch seats. They drive me up the mountain. Everything's cool. And he's like, did you have a good tour? I was like, yeah, I had a good day. Okay. I didn't say anything about this guy's driving. So finally get to my place. The guy opens the door, Mario Andretti, the driver, the original driver, opens the door, lets me out, shakes my hand. He goes, you know, I'm so sorry about, you know, those two women that didn't want to go to dinner. He goes, really, they could have spared an hour. Like, I could have taken you to a really nice restaurant with really good open barbecue lamb. Like, he goes, I'm so sorry. And I'm just looking at the guy and I'm like, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay, brother. So all I wanted to do was like call it a night, man. So they drove away. I went up to my place and I literally just collapsed. And I ended up just ordering delivery. And, you know, by the time the food got to me and I ate, it was 10 o'clock at night. Like, we literally could have just ate on the road, you know? But just remember, I am the Disgruntled.